something that I've found in our culture is that male energy, the males are emasculated, and then male energy is only acceptable for expression under very specific parameters.
Absolutely.
So like sports
Yep.
is a big one, and then police and military, obviously,
Yep.
and then also archetypal jobs such as construction worker, doctor, lawyer, businessman, etc. And male energy, it simply represents decisive action. So that energy is always going to be there. Like any human being is always going to have that energy within them. So if they weren't, if they weren't misdirecting that energy, it would naturally dismantle the control system, like on its own. And football specifically is carried out inside of a gladiatorial arena, and it's like a simulated war ritual. And the scrimmage line, it's like a clash between two armies. And I don't even watch football anymore, but I was in the cannabis market the other day, and I heard on their television just the roar of the crowd. I live in Seattle, and the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl last year, and it's a really big thing. And I haven't watched a single second of football all year because I don't see the value in it anymore. Like I see it for what it is. But I heard that roar of that crowd, and it sent chills up my spine because it I remembered all those scenes in the Gladiator movie, and it's almost exactly the same. And that energy, it's like they're siphoning that energy and they're letting people express it in a harmless way, in a way that's not going to damage the control system.
It's completely channeled and deflected away from them.
So that's all I had, and I just wanted to kind of hear your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. I think you've made great points there, Rahul. The masculine energy is continuously suppressed and channeled in completely futile directions. They don't want any real men in society. That's the entire problem with society right now, is that there's actually too much false masculine energy and too little real masculine energy, true masculine energy, which would stand up against injustice, which would stand up against anybody trying to take away our rights, and would come and take a defensive posture against incursions like that. This is the reason that the quote, again, I'm always going to refer to this, or I'm going to endeavor always to refer to this dynamic as the neo-feminism movement. It isn't classical feminism. They are creating a war on men, essentially, through their religion, through this religion that I'm going to tag as neo-feminism. And part of this is the emasculation of the modern male and the subsequent masculization of the modern female, but not in the sense of true masculine energy, of dominator masculine energy, of wanting to control. Okay? And you see this happening in society. And the reason that this is done is you have to look at, I'll probably make some slides regarding this, or a chart to illustrate it visually. You have to imagine real masculine energy on one side, real feminine energy on the other side. And what they want is to blur the lines between them, to bring everybody away from those genuine things and have it all be sort of a competing mixture, okay, where there's no real men and there's no real women, and everybody is a silhouette or a husk that isn't really acting in the capacity of a genuine being. They're the literal non-genuine false being. They don't want real men and real women in society. Real men and real women are not going to be able to be manipulated. And I'll give further elaboration on what I consider a real man and a real woman to be as I explore this topic in the future. And I will certainly explain what I consider the artificial man and the artificial woman to be, or the manipulated man or the manipulated woman. And that's what comprises most of human society today. The artificial, manipulated man and woman that bears no resemblance to the real item, to the real thing. They can't even conceptualize how this was done to them. They were made into beings, into creatures by people and think tanks and groups, by people and think tanks and groups that they never met, never heard of. And they were turned into golems by these people that are operating on rote response, like a stimulus response organism instead of an actual thinking human being.